As the team is now approaching, so that we are not found wanting. You are free to clap for the guests as they arrive. You are free to urinate. And in whichever way you enjoy when you see your dear guests, you have the freedom. I think now that we are all together, once the guest of honor, the Prime Minister's right honorable Prime Minister sat down, we can all sit down, in that order. Thank you. But we'll come back to stand again. So for now, let's be seated. Welcome to this very important occasion. We'll talk more about it. I, who is leading the program today, my name is Peter Nyarango. Other people call me Professor Nyarango. I prefer to be Peter Nyarango, or Dr. Nyarango in short. I'm basically a surgeon. So since we should now be dancing to the music, we are a bit late. I'll be very surgical in managing this time. So I'll be very surgical so that you can catch up. Before we go on, now that you know who is conducting the business, we'll allow we'll move to the next item, which is that we stand and we do the national anthem, then the AU, then the UNAM. I mean the IUM. Oh, I might be fired. So let us be upstanding.
the trends, standard superior, part of the answer to advance Namibia. We remember those before us, be remembered for your impact. We are IUM for life, we are IUM.
You may be seated. I'm sure you take note. I said you may, but if you prefer to stand, you're also welcome. Eh? The next item, so that we can feel that we are on firm grounds as we continue, is my humble duty to invite Reverend Dr. Emma Nangolo to give us a word from the great book. Thank you.
Okay. Sisters and brothers in the Lord, dear friends and comrades, all protocols observed, good morning and shalom. I am confident that heaven is smiling upon this occasion. Why? Because this is an occasion marked by a generosity that reflects the very heart of God for his people. At the very core of this act lies a timeless and profound truth, beautifully spoken by Jesus Christ in the Gospel according to Matthew chapter 25, verses 34 to 40, which says, "For I was hungry, and you gave me to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me to drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in. I was naked, and you gave me clothing. I was sick, and you took care of me. I was in prison, and you came to me." Then the just will answer to the king, saying, "Lord, when did we see you hungry and fed you, or thirsty and give you to drink? And when did we see you a stranger and take you in, or naked and give you clothing? And when did we see you sick or in prison and come to you?" And the king will answer them, saying, "I tell you that all those things you have done for one who was least in my family, you have also done for me." This very scripture reminds us that every act of kindness, generosity, and service to humanity is in fact service to God himself. So when we care for the sick, when we lift the burden of others, and when we give not out of abundance, but out of love, we fulfill a calling that goes beyond duty. We touch the divine heart. The medical equipment being donated here today will do far more than simply fill a room in a hospital. It will become a vessel of healing, compassion, and hope. It will touch the lives of patients, many of whom we may never meet, yet who will experience care, comfort, and dignity because of this generous act. It will strengthen the hands of our health professionals and bring hope to families walking through some of their most difficult seasons in life. In this way, the heart of God, the very same God who suffers with his people and rejoices in their healing, is deeply touched. Truly, every act of love shown to the sick, the weary, and the broken is an offering of worship to the one who calls us to save. When we read the Holy Scripture, we see that throughout history, God has raised up individuals through whom his compassion and grace are made visible. Men and women who stood as vessels of his purpose, of his faith, they have shown courageous and selfless in their service. In our own time, we are blessed to witness such a man in the person of Professor David Namwandi. And if it were not that the Bible has a closing chapter that forbids us from adding to its sacred pages, I would add a chapter about him. Maybe not in the book of Revelations, but somewhere where it fits perfectly. His compassion, his generosity, his humility, and unwavering heart of service. A man who constantly chooses to stand in the gap. May God bless our nation with more men and women like Tate Namwandi, leaders of integrity, compassion, generosity, and faith. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, God Almighty, we come before you this morning with our hearts filled with joy, gratitude, and appreciation as we gather to witness a meaningful and noble purpose. We offer you our praises and bless your holy name. Lord, we recognize that every good and perfect gift comes from you, and we thank you for this joyful occasion. May everything we do here today be pleasing in your sight and bring honor and glory to your name. We commit every speaker and every participant here into your loving care, praying for your wisdom, your guidance, and inspiration upon each one of them. Like your humble servant, our dear brother, Tate David Namwandi, help us, Lord, to be attentive to your voice and grant us the grace to respond faithfully to your call in the places and ways you have appointed for each one of us. When we leave this place, may your Holy Spirit continue to draw our hearts closer to you, fill our minds with your truth, inspire our imaginations, and direct our wills, so that we may be wholly yours. We offer this prayer in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. Thank you.
It is perfectly in order to applaud the reverend. Even the Bible says, sing with music, with guitars, with all instruments. So please. And now I understand when I offered to read the Bible, she reminded me that no, there was another Peter who turned out to be a surgeon. He cut off someone's ear. Let me read it myself. Now, a few housekeeping rules, just for our comfort. The first one, the scourge of the current generation, the cell phone. Please keep it silent, otherwise you go into my notebook. I have the notebook. So when it rings, I'll put your name in my notebook, and we'll see what to do with you thereafter. So please, on silent. The next thing, the restrooms are inside. This is part of the foreign culture. In my culture, restrooms are outside. But here now is a restroom are inside the house. So you go right, you turn right again, you will be inside the building. That's the only place you turn left. And you will walk until you reach almost this window. Then you'll find the restroom. They are both male and female. So please, I don't know what they're called restroom. Founder, we need to put some chairs in the restroom so that they can be restrooms. Yes. Amongst us, we have a real French woman. She's among us. So some of these things I'm talking about come from that far back. There's another rule, the last one. don't take French leave. I don't know why they say French leave. She will tell us. But they also have something they call French kiss. They also have something they call French fries. Everything is French. But not everything is good for us, particularly taking French leave. So now that we have reached this very point, we are on safe ground, I would invite our Wood Professor Philemon Amambo, a colleague, is a fellow surgeon, a colleague who has been intimately linked with the healthcare of this country, with medical education of this country, and to the liberation of this country. Professor Mambo. I don't think I need to say more than that. The amount of white hair on your head summarizes everything.
Before I say many things, thank you very much, Director of Ceremony, for giving me floor. I am looking around first to make sure that everybody here has been seen, although not necessarily mentioned. I would like to use this opportunity to recognize the Right Honorable Prime Minister, Dr. Ngurar, as well as the Honorable Minister of Health and Social Services, Dr. Luvinda. I would like to extend also a special welcome to Professor Paul Mapfumo, Vice Chancellor of the University of Zimbabwe. Retired Bishop Nambala, Professor Mwandemele, the Professor Makanyuza, is he here? Yes. And members of council, IUM. And I would like to extend a special recognition to Dr. Professor Namwandi, our host, who requested us to be here this morning. I also would like to recognize the presence of some members of the advisory board, which is trying to assist IUM with some ideas. Some of them are quite conventional, some of them may sound a bit far-fetched, but they are trying. Our chaplain has already blessed us. Thank you very much, Dr. Nangolo. I would like to recognize also Dr. Weyulu from the Health Professional Council. Thank you for representing the council. All the invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, as I've said, everybody has been seen. I would like now to briefly move on to the purpose of why we are here. I am welcoming you to this event that, number one, represents unity of purpose. Number two, it recognizes an identified common good. And number three, it demonstrates a contribution towards societal benefits or that promote the building of a just and egalitarian society through innovation. Now, the MOs that was referred to will continue to be guiding torch of the operations, and I believe it's likely to be a living document. Namibia, this country, a country well known for its high Gini coefficient, one of the highest in the world, the country of inequality. Something needs to be done. Through training, we would like to rectify what is identified to be wrong. May not be comfortable, but if it is wrong, it deserves to be rectified. We would like to attempt to identify credible trainers from wherever and to raise credible trainers from within as time goes. In service provision in our facilities, we are dreaming the best, the very best for our people, unrestricted. Only those who believe in something else, something we do not believe in, may continue to keep us where we are or where we have been all along. But we shall continue to dream the best for this nation, the only one we have, we can claim. Now, the equipment that will be mentioned today, and the list is comprehensive. Equipment is specifically earmarked for now to Rundu Hospital, one of the big hospitals in the northeastern part of our country. Now, over generations, we have not been comfortable with the terminology that has been putting some of our potentially best hospitals down. The concept of the periphery. Who is at the periphery? Periphery from whom and why? I think the concept of periphery needs to be revisited, because unconsciously it's sowing wrong seeds. people will always feel they don't belong. And they have to try and find somewhere to belong to. That is homework. The list of equipment is comprehensive. It was the need for this equipment was identified by those on the ground. It was not imposed. Now, there is a tendency historically for some to argue that you cannot have what Windhoek doesn't have. It's a historical fact, even if it is necessary. We need to change that. If Windhoek needs it, let Windhoek ask for it. But it should not be used as a barrier that you cannot have it because Windhoek doesn't have it. It will continue to put us down. We want our people to experience hope and confidence where they are. That should be our mission. We should not be planning evictions one way or another by denying recognition of the fact that it's not by mistake that people are there where they are. On that note, thank you, Director. Ceremony.
Now you know why I say that he didn't need any introduction. He was the chairman of the Council of IUM. He is a member of our advisory board at the IUM. So you know why. Now at this stage, we are supposed to have a music interlude. Yes, after Philomena Mambo is a music interlude. Please, enough. The floor is yours, and if you are not ready, I'm ready. If you are not ready, I'm ready. I will do the interlude myself.
Mic check 1, 2. Thank you very much, Director of Ceremony. All protocol observed. I'm joined by Tequila on stage. Now we are going to do a song that says Oshualameno. It's loosely translated from Oshuambo that God is our hiding place. God is our hiding place, a present help in times of trouble. Okay, I believe those who speak my language will be able to understand. Okay, so you start that song, and then we are going to celebrate this milestone with the IUM. Okay? Help us start the song again from the beginning, please. Okay. Just start the song.
Maybe I can continue.
Okay, play.
Yeah? Yes. No. Okay.
All right. Give me more Katuturam volume there.
Oshihola meno shetu, Oshihola meno sheteni, Oshihola mileni, Oshihola meno sheteni, Oshihola mileni, Oshihola meno sheteni, ngombe kwako muti wote mwinekela, Oshihola meno sheteni, ngombe kwako muti wote mwinekela, Oshihola meno sheteni, kalunga, kalunga, Oshihola meno sheteni, ngombe kwako muti wote mwinekela, ngombe kwako muti wote mwinekela, Oshihola meno sheteni,
Kalunga kange, inwekela shinge. Kalunga kange, ovashike ushinge. Kalunga kange, ovekela shinge. Kalunga kange, amondi kuole.
nobody knows,
Sisili montima wange.
nobody knows,
Siwahala mongala mwenye yange.
ngoye hashike,
Ovashike ndinekela.
ngoye hashike,
Ovashike ndinekela.
nobody knows,
Sabe shisho shilishange.
nobody knows,
Ujuwanga use.
ngoye hashike,
Ovashike ndinekela.
ngoye hashike, hashike ndinekela,
Oshihola meno sheteni. Oshihola meno. Oshihola meno sheteni. Oshihola meno. Oshihola meno sheteni. Oshihola meno. Oshihola meno sheteni.
ngombe kwako muti wote mwinekela,
Oshihola meno sheteni.
ngombe kwako muti wote mwinekela,
Oshihola meno sheteni.
kalunga, kalunga,
Oshihola meno sheteni. Oshihola meno. Oshihola meno sheteni.
ngombe kwako muti wote mwinekela,
Oshihola meno sheteni.
ngombe kwako muti wote mwinekela,
Oshihola meno sheteni.
imwe bali kalunga katatu umwe ila ukwasenje yafe tundalulirwa ilimo ndilo andipindalulirwa ondatiwapo ndalingapo osiwa ashike natango shosho ombo masendo koni moyo wala yemwe edinde ondatiwapo isewe ndili lonely osikembela hano osikembela ashikenena ondasikamantakola yakola yeso mhupiti lili of the valley oye ahumbatange shashi ovanu ihabelinekerwa tulikileninge anihayinekerwa talabo banti nekera mukalunga kalunga
Oshihola meno, Oshihola meno shetu, Oshihola meno, Oshihola meno sheteni, Oshihola mileni,
Oshihola meno sheteni.
Oshihola mileni,
Oshihola meno sheteni.
ngombe kwako muti wote mwinekela,
Oshihola meno sheteni.
ngombe kwako muti wote mwinekela,
Oshihola meno sheteni.
kalunga, kalunga,
Oshihola meno sheteni.
kalunga,
Oshihola meno sheteni.
ngombe kwako muti wote mwinekela,
Oshihola meno sheteni.
ngombe kwako muti wote mwinekela,
Oshihola meno sheteni.
Thank you.
Kalunga, that's what I got from them, eh? Now we move to the next. Thank you very much, Dinav. That was invigorating. Now I have this task of introducing a giant. A giant not just in the field of education, but in the field of the fight for justice, the fight for freedom, the fight for economic emancipation. Education is about liberation from poverty and things. He's a giant in all those fields. He may look very humble and fragile, But I can tell you it's made of steel. He believes in God first. He believes in God. He believes in the possibility. He tells me that a problem is not the absence of a solution. It requires to be solved. And the only way you get emancipated from the problem is to solve it. How do I know that he believes and trusts in God? One of these days, almost 15 years ago, we were going to a meeting, and at the lift, he pulled me back and said, "Peter, my brother, do you believe in God?" I said, "Yes." "Then go on your knees and pray." They say that if you want to talk to God, talk to the wind. I couldn't go on my knees at that stage, but I talked to God by addressing the wind. Little did I know that the meeting was, the top item on the agenda is, what are the good reasons for keeping this dean on his job? In short, I was supposed to be fired that morning. But he didn't tell me this. Only the chairman later on confessed and said, and he talked in Swahili, said, "Yes, they make the mistake of bringing you to the meeting at the same time when we were discussing you." In terms of fighting for education, and now it's education, not that's the one which Professor Amambo doesn't like, that is centered in Windhoek. He'll speak for himself. He believes in what has now come to be known as regional innovative systems, where you live, you are immersed as an academic organization in and within the community. Together, you solve the problems. Together, you create employment. Professor Namwandi has been honored in many forums. If I start talking about it today, we will be here for the whole afternoon. So survive it to say, Professor David Richard Namwandi, IUM founder and chairman of council. The floor is yours.
Sit down, my good people. Sit down, sit down, sit down. Sit down, sit down. Good morning, everybody, brothers and sisters. Good morning. Good morning. We are happy that this morning this place is blessed with the presence of our own brother and our own sister who are serving as the servants of this nation at the government level. We are happy. And I thought the most important person to thank is the Most High for his mercy upon us. This is the day that the Lord has made for us to rejoice. Director of Proceedings, my brother Peter, thank you very much for your beautiful introduction. Dr. Elijah Chitunga Ngurare, our Right Honorable Prime Minister of our Republic, our very sister, our own sister, Honorable Dr. Esperanza Luvidau, Minister of Health and Social Services in our land, our Chancellor, Bishop Emeritus, Dr. Shakutamba Vaino Nambara, Professor Dr. Osmund Mandemele, the Vice Chancellor of our fine university. In our midst, we have our brother, our comrade, Professor Paul Mafumo, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Zimbabwe. The list is long. I want to recognize members of the governing council. Dr. Andrina Ojobara, the Pro-Vice Chancellor, Administration and Management of our university. Dr. Nelawa Maguru, Chairperson of IUM Advisory School of Medicine Board and Medical Superintendent, Katutura Intermediate and Teaching Hospital. I'm not too sure whether Dr. Helman Shitaleni, the Medical Superintendent of Windhoek Central Hospital, is here. Apologies. I'm also not too sure whether Dr. Teresia Shivera, Medical Superintendent, Rundu State Hospital, is here. Very good. Can you stand, my sister? Can you clap for her, please? Be seated. Dr. Kolonirus Wayuru, the Chief Executive and the Registrar of HPCNA. Ms. Anna Engelbrecht, Nursing Manager, Mediclinic Hospital. Are we here? Is she here? Very good, very good. Welcome, my sister. Our very own Reverend Dr. Emma Nangoro, IUM Dean of Students, and the lady who blessed us this morning with a beautiful prayer. Distinguished invited guests, members from progressive media houses. As a human being, I'm prone to make mistakes. I might have committed some important personalities. For that, I say, all protocol observed. This year, Director of Proceedings, marks 31 year of our university's existence. For that, we thank the Most High for his continued strength and guidance hitherto. Certainly, we operated under extremely difficult conditions, but here we are, still pushing. As a nation, what can we learn from this trajectory? Firstly, given the humble beginnings of this institution, we have been able to demonstrate that it is not who we are today. It is who we can be and what to be in future. Undoubtedly, our dreams today will shape our futures of tomorrow. And that is undeniable fact. Secondly, lessons from the 3 decades of our existence are a testimony to the benefits of rich fruits that are the outcome of hard work and steadfast persistence, despite the many seemingly unsurmountable obstacles, because it has never been a walk in the park. Thirdly, The enduring constant has been how we define ourselves within the Namibian society. A transformative kinetic force, continuously driving the big wheel of change. Change on how to remain competitive, change on how we remain viable, and of course, how to remain sustainable in hostile economic realities. IUM is ever evolving and growing in leaps and bounds. So our IUM is for life. Fourthly, that we are part of the ecosystem. The communities in which we are immersed are the reasons why we exist, who we serve, and with whom we work. The ecosystem generates the educational and research needs, the financial resources, and lastly, the opportunities for our graduates. Director of Proceedings. It is as a result of the lessons from our past in relation to the key fundamentals of our vision for the future that prompted IUM to expand its wings, using the management science as an evolving starting point leading to today's event. According to the World Health Organization metrics, at 0.2 specialists per population of 1,000, Namibia has a shortfall of over 2,000 medical specialists to bridge the gap. You might wish to know that close to 80% of all medical specialists in our country are non-Namibians. And most work and live within the city of Windhoek and a few major towns. To me, this is scary, meaning we are dependent on foreign specialists. Evidently, we are part of an ecosystem that in the healthcare service delivery yearns for action now and not later to avert a crisis tomorrow. As a dynamic university, IUM has not shied away from seeking sustainable solutions to the impending crisis in the health sector. Suffice it to say, we may not be wealthy, far from it, but we care. We care. We care. This little donation underline the word little, of brand new medical equipment to the value of 8.5 million. Will go a long way to initiate a process whose end result is a sustainable platform that can train the much-needed medical experts in our country at the rate commensurate to the shortfall. I want to pause here. Let the credit not come to IUM. It should go to the people of this country. But I am tempted to mention 3 names. The first name is the name of Dr. Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwah. You might be thinking, is she mentioning the name of the president because she's a president? Far from it. Far from it. She lobbied for us to have our School of Medicine. That was a time when she was a deputy prime minister. I'm talking of 2022, 2023. She lobbied the Minister of Health. The second name, Dr. Saraku Wangerwa Amadira. She was one of those people, when she was a prime minister, lobbied for us to have the memorandum of understanding between ourselves and the Minister of Health. Documents are there to prove the truth. The last person, not because he's here, Dr. Elijah Gurare. We were completely stuck. And I want you to listen carefully. We were stuck. We have offered, according to our memorandum of understanding with the Minister of Health, we've offered as a university to train, to recruit 5 specialists who will go and work in our hospitals, especially teaching hospitals. And the university governing council decided that the salaries, including all the benefits of those specialists, will be catered for by IUM. Little did you know that it is not going to be easy to recruit those people. We identify the people, we identify the specialists, but there were obstacles. Had it not been for the Prime Minister of the Republic of Namibia, we were not going to have those people recruited. Now they are recruited. Regrettably, among those who were recruited, before they were given offers from us, after we got a go-ahead from the Minister of Home Affairs, they were grabbed by our international competitors. Well, we have to go back to the drawing board. I'm happy the Minister of Health is here. We are inviting you to join the battle. Madam, to join the battle, we are going to re-advertise these positions. And this time around, we need your hand. So that as soon as possible, our people get the service they desire. The only crime we have committed as a university is to offer our hand to the nation. And we will not disengage until the wishes and aspirations of our people have finally been met. Right Honorable Prime Minister, kindly accord me a few minutes to briefly chart the milestone on our road towards creating a robust and sustainable medical specialization programs in our country. Firstly, in the year of our Lord, 2022, soon after signing a binding agreement with the renowned University of Zimbabwe, I'm happy the university is represented here today by the Vice Chancellor. IUM and the Minister of Health and Social Services signed a memorandum of understanding which opened the doors of the state teaching hospital to become the platform for education and training of future medical specialists in our land. This is called to timely, effective, and sustainable education specialist training in education. The Memorandum of Understanding not only gives meaning to symbiotic relationship between the state and the private sector, but even more importantly, the opportunity to reach out to other regions and rapidly scale up the capacity of the training program while at the same time imparting on access to specialized care during our lifetime. It is in this regard that we gathered here today to demonstrate our commitment and determination to succeed. Let this be recorded, Comrade Prime Minister, that Rundu State Hospital has become the primary beneficiary of our donation. Thus set to become a center of expertise in education and a federal center covering a huge catchment area. Secondly, the year 2024 marked the starting point for initiating admission to the Master of Medicine course, during which the registrars or trainees, medical officers, will undertake their one-year part one of the training at the University of Zimbabwe. Of course, at its National Teaching Hospital. Thereafter, the trainees will return to Namibia for graduate return to Namibia for part 2 of the course and research work. The graduates will graduate with the qualification of the University of Zimbabwe at the initial stage. In this regard, I'm pleased to report that despite the many hurdles, one of the trainees will be awarded a postgraduate diploma upon a successful completing part 1 at the end of this year. He will then embark on part 2 while participating in the care of patients as a specialist in training here in Namibia. We are meeting today. As we are meeting today, the admission of further 10 medical officers into Master of Medicine program is nearing completion. We believe that unlike the first cohort, this time around, the Ministry of Health and Social Services and Public Service Commission will be able to finalize the study leave process on time for the Namibia medical officers to register to commence their studies in February 2026. Of note is that a number of Namibian medical officers have postponed registration to 2027, when the implementation of the program will be relocated to our motherland. In preparation to commencement of part 2, training in 2026, IUM, as per terms of Memorandum of Understanding with the Ministry of Health and Social Services, has appointed 2 full-time medical specialists and 2 part-time specialists to work in our state teaching hospitals in Namibia and support training as well as patient care. IUM will bear the full cost of these employments. Lastly, as we prepare to domesticate the training, IUM is at an advanced stage of developing our own curricula for the approval of NQA, Health Professional Council of Namibia, and the Council for Health for Higher Education. The commencement date for this phase, which will be with full participation of the University of Zimbabwe, is set to be the year 2027. 3 of these curricula are already ready for stakeholder engagement and review. As we continue to make this steady progress, ladies and gentlemen, I'm confident that once we commission the joint Ministry of Health and Social Services and IUM committee, our operations will become seamless and move with faster speed. This committee will oversee and manage the implementation of the Memorandum of Understanding. Right Honorable Prime Minister, together we will succeed. At IUM, we believe that commitment to duty is not a sacrifice, but a justification for us to be in this troubled world. Finally, and very finally, as I beg the Director of Proceedings to leave this podium, dear audience, please allow me to thank you most sincerely for your kind attention as I proceed to take my seat.
Now, we never clap like that. Those claps, I don't know how to assess the magnitude. Eh? Here we measure claps, appreciation in kilos. Eh? And it goes like this. 1, tena, funga, fungua. Then you can relate, eh? Then I know those are 3 kilos, eh? Yes. I think at this stage we are again going to interlude. I want to enjoy the drama. Yeah, I think at this stage we are moving, this is to a stage where we need to see the baby, eh? Yes, there's a handover, a small handover ceremony here. Where are the goodies, eh? We need to, eh? Let me confess, this is the first time I've been asked to be director of ceremonies in all my life. Eh? So you will understand that issue of protocol is not my cup of tea. Eh? And in Kenya we have a lot of tea. Where do we move to? Today, for the first time since Dr. Netumbo Ndaitwa constituted the government and appointed one of our best students at the School of Medicine of University of Namibia as the Minister for Health and Social Services. I forgive you for clapping like that, because I don't know the kilos, eh? But later on we'll have to do it properly. Eh? Today is the first time we met since the government was constituted, since she was appointed the Minister for Health and Social Services. And for the first time I realized that my glands still have got some tears. Eh? It was an emotional meeting. Only it's a good idea that there was nobody there to take the pictures. Eh? because that's supposed to be senior was shedding tears. The student was shedding tears. It was a very touching moment. I know and I believe that I'm seeing a transition, a succession strategy in the leadership of Namibia. And I know the President, His High Excellency, the President herself, has declared that she needs the old because they have the knowledge and the experience. But I didn't hear going a step further to say, but I'm also bringing in the young to take the mantle forwards. So the Dr. Esperanza Ruvindao, who I'm welcoming to the post, and now we do the kilo ones. He is the representative of the future in succession.
Director of Ceremonies, Professor Peter Nyarango, Coordinator of the International University of Management School of Medicine. Allow me to stand on the protocol observed because of time, but I would be amiss if I didn't recognize the presence of the Right Honorable Prime Minister, Dr. Elijah Ngurare, Prime Minister of the Republic of Namibia. Please put your hands together for him. It is such an honor to stand before all of you today. It is such a joyous occasion. I was jotting down some notes, and while I was doing so, Prof is such a humble man, it was said before, such a humble man. I myself have not held in one go $8.5 million. I don't know how many of you have. But he's a humble man in that $8.5 million worth of donations is not a small donation. And then I wish to highlight very importantly that if you listen to his speech, you would actually realize that it wasn't 8.5 million, if you listen very carefully. So he said there are a lot of costs that are being borne by the International University of Management. And so very easily I would put this at nearly $10 million, if I'm not mistaken, if not more. And so today we're not here to celebrate a small donation. We're here to celebrate this commitment to the well-being of the Republic of Namibia. Now I say this because I've said it time and time again at numerous speaking engagements, and I've said so many people can find fault with the system. Yeah, many people. No, the health ministry this, the health ministry that. No, the government this, the government that. But it's very few people that can see a problem and be a part of the solution. The generous act of the International University of Management, particularly with this memorandum of understanding with the Ministry of Health and Social Services, solidifies something. It says something, it speaks towards something. When I started, the President said something to me. The Right Honorable Prime Minister highlighted this, and he said, we have a leadership that has a soft spot for health. And I don't think we quite understand or appreciate what that means. I've been to countries after my appointment where you can see that health is just not a top priority. And so to have leadership that is healthcare focused, that believes that health is a priority, is not something to be taken for granted. One of the first things the President said to me when I was appointed, she said, I want you to build capacity. I want you to build in-house capacity. That and get rid of the middlemen. But she said, I want you to build capacity. I want you to build local capacity. And so as we stand here today to celebrate this particular donation, it also speaks to the fact that we have a very responsive government. We have a government that in no way says that there is no work to be done, but we have a government that says that we recognize there's work to be done, we vow to get the job done, and yes, we might start with tiny steps, but that's how you start the journey. And so with that said, the donation today speaks towards what I like to emphasize as being the well-being of our citizens. Now, when we started talking about this issue of Vision April 2026, there were a few comments that disturbed me. One of them was a misunderstanding, a misconception of what this vision was about. So people started saying, yes, but Vision April 2026 is to get government health facilities ready for VIPs, for the Right Honorable Prime Minister and the Minister and the President. And I very quickly jumped in and corrected them. That's not what we're doing. I'm glad media is here again to reiterate this fact. Vision April 2026 is not there to get facilities ready for VIPs. Vision April 2026 states that if it is good enough for the Namibian citizen from Havana, Hakahana, you name it, oh, then it should be good enough for the Minister of Health and Social Services. And if it's good enough for the patients, it should be good enough for the Right Honorable Prime Minister. And so ultimately what we are trying to do is not get it fit for purpose for executives or VIPs. We're trying to get it to a standard whereby all people, irrespective of background, irrespective of where you come from, irrespective of how much money you have in your pocket, you can access the same quality of care. It is a major issue that I have with our current healthcare system, and I say ours because I'm an active part of it, active contributor to it. When you go to health facilities and the president is in the region, and I know a lot of you know this, if the president or a high-functioning official is in the region, they have this facility that they prepare, a room, a special room. And the interesting thing is the same hospitals that say, no, we don't have ECG machines, we don't have this, we don't have that for the patients. Now suddenly that room will have everything. It has everything. And so that means that somewhere along the lines we've gotten it wrong. Somewhere along the lines we need to change the way we perceive it. And that's why I said the well-being of our citizens, and I highlight this every time I speak to healthcare workers, is the patients are the VIPs. Now, as a ministry, we are well aware of the contribution, and I want to take a moment, because oftentimes we have events like this, we go through them, we say, thank you very much, IUM, and we move on. But I want to highlight what exactly this 8.5 million means. I'm not going to read through everything. But the healthcare workers that are with us will understand, and I'm glad the superintendent of Rundu Hospital is here. The healthcare workers will understand what exactly this donation means. I wish to highlight this importantly because from the time I've taken office, we've had to engage in partnerships and conversations where we are asking for 100,000, 250,000, you name it, whatever amount, 1 million, 2 million, you name it. And so I want to put into effect what exactly this donation means so that we don't brush over it and just think that, oh, it's just another donation, you know, it's a PR, we move on. No. So first I want to highlight some of the important items that I've noted. So they are donating a sonar machine. They are donating an endoscopic tower. They're donating, please clap your hands. Yes, yes. They're donating hospital parameter, ICU hospital patient monitors. They're donating warmers. They're donating medical UV air sterilizers. They're donating air electric operation tables with X-ray examination. They are donating operating tables for orthopedic traction frames. They are donating NICU infant incubators for babies. They are donating anesthetic machines. They are donating electrosurgical generators. They are donating digital color Doppler ultrasound. They are donating fetal monitors. They are donating hospital infusion pumps. They are donating system medical ventilators. They're donating infant warmers for newborns. They're donating an LED endoscope light source. They're donating emergency trolleys, gas CEO insufflators, irrigation aspiration pumps. They're donating laparoscopes. They're donating equipment worth 8.5 million Namibian dollars. Now, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, my task is simple: to offer some remarks and then to welcome the Right Honourable Prime Minister. But before I do that, I want to highlight something that I've been highlighting at every official handover or donation that I attend. I say we must highlight the importance of maintenance. That's important. And I said it, so last night I was with the Minister of Works and Transport at Katutura Hospital until 10 p.m. with the medical superintendent as well and her entire team. And there are some things that we just need to get right. There are some things that we need to get right. And one of those things is proper maintenance. I've said it before, I'll say it again. It doesn't matter if you live in a shack and you cannot keep that shack clean, and you're not worthy of a mansion. And it speaks volumes about your ability to own a mansion. And so a lot of the times you hear people complaining and saying, yes, but we don't have the right tools in the hospitals. But when the right tools come, 6 months later, I'm getting a notice. No, firstly, there's nobody that was responsible to oversee the equipment. There's no maintenance plan. It's missing parts. You do a visit at the hospital and then you're told, no, there's something wrong with that bed. We don't know what it is. It's now packed in a corner. And so if we're going to talk about accepting, which we are, this brilliant donation, we must be honest about the importance of maintenance. And like I said, I'm glad the superintendent is here to take back the message home. Now, as a nation, we have been making steady progress towards achieving ambitious objectives outlined in the Ministerial Strategic Plan and the Roadmap for 2030. We have a very bold vision for healthcare, very bold vision. And when I started, I was told, my goodness, Esperance, it's a mammoth task that you've been given. Do you think it's possible to get it right? And then I traveled to a few countries, and I traveled to a country with a population of about 120 million people. And there are things in healthcare that they are getting right that for some reason we with a population of 3 million people have not gotten right. And so then I go back to the comment about it being a mammoth task and it being impossible, and I said, I don't think it's impossible. I think there are certain things that we need to change, and there are certain things we need to get right, and once we do, it will be possible. I extend my sincere appreciation to IUM as well as other private sector actors who have been contributing towards the development of our healthcare system. Your contribution and your support, particularly in ensuring that we improve the quality of care, does not go unnoticed. Before I conclude, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the Right Honourable Prime Minister for his unwavering support and leadership in the healthcare sector. I put him through a lot. I'm always texting and calling at all times of the night. And you know how it is, everybody feels like their ministry is always important, it can't wait. But he's always there to pick up the calls. When there is an emergency, he is there to respond. And as I mentioned, we are fortunate to have leaders that see healthcare as a priority. And so, ladies and gentlemen, it is now my distinct honor to introduce to you a man that needs little to no introduction. He's a true champion of healthcare. He's a visionary leader. He's committed to building a healthier and more prosperous nation. And the one thing about the Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, is he doesn't see obstacles. I thought I don't see obstacles. The Right Honorable Prime Minister does not see obstacles. So when I tell him we don't have this, that, he says, okay, but do it, what's wrong? And those are the kind of leaders that we need, because for so long the system has taught us that it needs to undergo a long process for things to happen. And these are the kind of leaders that teach us that change is good and that we must embrace change in order to get to where we want to be as a nation. So ladies and gentlemen, please rise and join me in welcoming the Right Honorable Prime Minister of the Republic of Namibia, Dr. Elijah Chitunga Ngurare, to deliver the keynote address.
Thank you so much. You see, you are vertically advantaged. I'm challenged. Thank you so very kindly. Thank you very much. We may be seated. I was just joking with her that she's vertically advantaged and I'm vertically challenged. So we had to make some adjustments to the mic. Pardon me for the flu. It's the season. Thank you so very kindly, Honorable Youthful Minister of Health and Social Services. Indeed, you have gotten and you have hit the ground running. You're doing very well. You have been doing very well. The President said so. So please, let's give her a round of applause. Director of Proceedings, Abarigani?
Mzuri sana. Karibu.
Yeah, mzuri. Yes, yes. Our good Professor Peter Nyarango, I think you are the founder, is it Dean or what? Of the founding dean, UNAM School of Medicine. Comrade Professor, the founder also here. I'll say why I'm saying the founder. There's a story to it, but I'll come to it. Honorable Dr. Professor David Namwandi, founder and chair of the Governing Council of IUM. Honorable Dr. Esperanza Luvindao, Minister of Health and Social Services. Professor the youthful Philemon Amambo, always youthful. And I was asking him, is it a kaka that is making you so young every time? He said, yes, a kaka. So let's start a kaka. Give him a round of applause. Dr. Nerao Amahuru, Chairperson, IUM Advisory School of Medicine Board and Medical Superintendent of Katutura Intermediate and Teaching Hospital. My mother, Anna Ngipondoka, former Minister of Education. We have two former Ministers of Education here. One is here, one is there. So I'll give them a round of applause. The two Vice Chancellors, one for the University of Zimbabwe and the other one for IUM. Most welcome, Pamberi na Chimurenga, Chakusungura, Zimbabwe na Namibia. Comrade Asantinda, Special Advisor to the Prime Minister. Retired Bishop Vino Nambala. This one is my mentor. And I went to Onipa looking for you. I thought I'll go to the church and I'll find you, but I couldn't. He has been one of those elders who have looked after us, guided us, and always made sure that we don't, in an African way, misbehave. Long live. one of the surprise, Comrade Professor, when I was getting married, in a very remotest of villages you can imagine, somehow he was able to get Google when Google didn't exist, and found his way to Okatsidi. So I didn't ask him, how did you get there? Because he's a man of God. I assume God knew how to get him there. I'm most humbled by your presence and to see you. Dr. Teresia Sivera, Superintendent of State Hospital in Rundu, is a very energetic young lady. I visited Rundu Hospital, and she was able to take note, just like the minister is saying. When I'm told that there are things you can't do, I said exactly to her, no, it can be done. And I was glad a few weeks ago to see that what was meant to be impossible became possible. Well done. Let's give her a round of applause. Members of IUM Council, I don't know if Comrade Ben Mlongeni, you are still there. And you are also still looking young. So let's give the council a round of applause. My own brother, Dr. Cornelius Weyulu, CEO of the Health Professional Council of Namibia. I know we have had a lot of conversations. Continue to do what you are doing, as well as your neighbor, the professor there, and many others that are here. And, Dr. Sioni also is here, and others that are here. Reverend Emma Nangolo, Dean of Students. This one, Comrade Professor, when I went to study in Scotland, I was in Dundee, she was in which one? Glasgow, Edinburgh. Huh? Yes, she was there somewhere. Yes. Student leaders, I hope they are here. Yes, student leaders, let's give them a round of applause. Members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, and all friends that are here. Professor and esteemed audience, allow me first, before I speak the official things, to say one or two reflections on Professor Namwandi. He is thanking us. I think it's actually the reverse. It's us who must thank Professor Namwandi. Some of us, you can see now that we don't have hair here, but it went too fast. We are still younger. The real wisdom is there. I was not too long ago, right here, this is part of Windhoek West, as it were. I was the youth leader here of the SWAPO Party Youth League, leading the district that was very difficult. And the district, the only one that had universities. And our task from SWAPO headquarters is that we must get back Windhoek West because it was in the hands of the opposition. I won't mention which one. Now, we didn't know where to start. Of course, we didn't have money, it's obvious. Now, him and the late Abraham Iyambo, we were now coming to them, basically crying to them. Say, you know, we want to go house to house, but now the question is, house to house is not like Kachina Kachi to Kachina Kachi. These are serious houses. They have, yeah, Nekui is here. The houses, these have high walls and dogs. And they even say here, beware of dogs. Now, how do you get into that to convince this person to come to SWAPO? So we decided that the best way is we go to the elders, those who have been able to make the impossible possible. And the IUM was just starting. It was that side of Transnamib, that side there. Then we give each other inspiration of stories that had impossibilities but became possible. Man, this man could start a university from a kitchen. We keep repeating it. Kitchen, kitchen. He started from nothing. He made it. So if he could do it, why not us? Of course, we know that there are dogs we are facing, but he made it. So we went to borrow money. We say, youth, you put up this list where you say, there's a church, even if it's not church. Okay, sorry. Ombiri, Karugada tukupire. Yeah, we say, how do we get so that we can have startup capital? So we come and say, you see, we are recruiting, but also, we're at church also. I'm also SCM. I'm also SCM, so it was okay. It's an honest lie, kind of. Yeah, so they gave us some money, and that is the money we were able then to move about. Now, that inspired us, that if he could start from nowhere, there's nothing that can stop us. And therefore, he remained our inspiration from that level. So today when you hear his prime minister, it's not just like that. It's them, these ones. They are the ones that made us. If they did not believe in us, we would not be where we are. And elders, special elders, why the fourth commandment is imperative? Because they know that they need to teach us how to ride a bicycle, even if they know we will fall along the way in the process of balancing gravity. But eventually they know we'll stand up. So, Comrade Professor Namwandi, look at us, look at you. Without the ladder you put up, we would not be where we are. Without the ladder that elders have put up, President Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwa, the founding president, and all elders that believed in us, we would not be who we are today. That is why today is more significant. We are seeing the horizon of what seemed impossible. I concede. I am happy it is Rundu. I didn't even know it is Rundu. It was in the briefing that we learned about Rundu. But nevertheless, Professor Amambo has said the periphery is the vocabulary that must evaporate. Those in Rundu are as deserving as those in Windhoek. Those in Windhoek are as deserving as those in New York. The humanity of those in Namibia is not second class to any other humanity. Onses almal sam. Onses almal mense. Diere es onze hiere. Den dedes die batterij van Afrikaans wat no pap is. I can now switch to the other one because the solar doesn't work here. But this is a day we must applaud Professor Namwandi. I am so happy to see DINAF, and I'm so happy to see Tequila. Our Kapana date is coming. We must convene with all of you, the musicians, because the story I have told of Windhoek West could not be complete without you, the young artists of Namibia. You have made it possible. Including those who have left us, we salute them. See in us, see yourself. Whatever we do is a reflection of what you have made us to be. Therefore, in Kavango Sivera is there knows that we say, tukoko kuzawa tukoko kutunda. That is Greek, but it means insult where you are going, not where you are coming from. Because where you are coming from is what made you to be who you are. If it is Soshikundu and Mutete that made you, be proud of it. So I am happy to be here and happy that Rundu is the recipient of this medical Mungome and Oshukwira Otwapandura Unene. Before we came here, earlier this week, I went to the president and I told the president I'm coming to IUM. And the IUM is making a donation, an astronomical donation. People that have the DNA of modesty, like Professor, he will say, this is nothing but 10 or 80 million. Now, some of us, many of us here, even in our bank account, we have not reached any 1 million. Now imagine 8 million. So I said to her, they are donating medical equipments. I said the word state-of-the-art equipments. Of course, I haven't, when she was reading it, it's just on Bapora I can hear, but very complicated words. You have heard it, and doctoroscopy and serious words. I'm sure you are just like me. You were listening. We had to clap hands out of good citizenship. When she said in doctoroscopy, I saw some of you clapping. I said, do you really understand what that does? as long as we say, just say hallelujah, amen. But very, very, I said high state-of-the-art equipments. Then she said, by all means, if we receive donations from outside the country, now this is donation from within us. Certainly, this is a mark of pride. Please go and convey greetings. And I convey to him. And I was imagining who are the audience, so therefore I'm also conveying to you the president's greeting. Today, therefore, through this public-private partnership, we are witnessing history in the making and opening a new chapter in Namibia's quest to deliver sustainable quality healthcare. As many of you know, and as the minister has made clear, as the president always makes clear, our mission on health as government is to provide integrated, affordable, accessible, and equitable, and quality health and social services that are responsive to the needs of all Namibian people. That mission is informed by the fact that access to medical specialists in any country has always been a key driver in reducing morbidity and mortality rates and other associated healthcare costs. Some of the indices of health in the country, such as maternal mortality, infant mortality, and morbidity from cancer, continue to be unacceptably high. The overall decline is at a snail pace. Not too long ago, I think it was in July to be precise, we had just finished cabinet, and the president did not want to tell cabinet that the four of us, that's now the top four of the government, we had hatched a secret that we wanted to do. So we only told them, please meet us where. So what the president had decided, we had to come unannounced to Katutura State Hospital and Windhoek Central Hospital. So they only found us already there. So why did we go there? The president wanted to have what doctors call ocular proof of the challenges of the two biggest hospitals. And we walked floor by floor, and we visited some patients along the way, and we spoke to various employees or professionals. And I want to share this one because I'm speaking to my brother, my father, in this case, professor. I should have considered also that, you see, IUM of Namibia, I have been lecturing there before I became what I am now. So therefore, I can sing that song you were singing also. So of course, now that I am here, I can't do it. Now I must do it pro bono. What do you call it? Pro bono. Eh? So that I can still continue nurturing the minds. So after UNAM, I came to IUM. So I'm speaking also passionately about IUM because I'm just like you also. As a Nisoni. So when we came, we visited some of the machines that she's mentioning. I think it was, MRI or something like that. The one where they must hire from outside. Yeah, you see, I remember a student. Yeah, so we found that the MRI is not in good state, or rather non-existent. And the president is very, you see, she will look like she doesn't understand when she's asking a question. And now you can talk now, you can open up everything. So she say, okay, MRI. So you don't have MRI? Yes. The person who answered said, we don't have MRI. So how do you treat the patients? They say, no, we go to the private sector. Okay. How much? What is that machine again? So the person repeat MRI, thinking she doesn't understand. MRI is, we hire it. And how much do you pay per year? I think it was like 130 plus million. Yeah, she said, can you repeat that again? She thought maybe she doesn't understand numeracy. So she repeat, or the person, no, I didn't say she. Not her. There was somebody else, other gender. Then they repeated it. I think it was close to 150 million. Yeah. Okay, so how much is the machine? I think it was less than 50 million. So you mean 150 and this machine is only less than 50? So why didn't you buy it? No, procurement. Yeah, there's, problem of procurement. It is, then you continue to wonder, is procurement a man or woman? Yeah, so procurement. Yeah, MRI procurement. Okay, fine. We went. Then she said, but does it make sense? We are willing, and unquestionably so, paying 150 million per year for a machine we could buy for less than 50 million. So, whether now that is medically logical, I think in the book of common sense is illogical. We were therefore directed there and then. We must make sure that we buy an MRI machine for the hospital so that they have them. That is the leadership that the president has been taking. We go on the ground, ask the questions, and where we are trying to scratch our heads, then say scratch better so that the solution comes. And that is what the president is leading. Let's give her a round of applause. In our view, a healthy nation is one, for us, to have Namibia as a healthy nation is one of the objectives of the 8th administration under Her Excellency the President. Of course, in our 2025-2030 SWAPO Party Election Manifesto, we pledge to improve the living standards by ensuring widespread access to quality and social welfare services. The 2025-2030 Universal Health Coverage Strategic Plan that she mentioned is bedrocked on 3 pillars. 1, people's well-being. 3, operational excellence. 3 is talent management that she was asked to develop and build capacity. Quantify that in numbers, that is about 16.1 billion over the next 5 years. That means the government is serious about ensuring access to health care for all citizens, promote preventive care, expand public health coverage, and improve the quality of health services in public health facilities. We must sustain and maintain public health infrastructure because access to medical care is a right and is not a privilege. People should not die because there are no medicines or doctors in hospitals. God forbid, they should only die because there was nothing medical personnel can do to save lives, which means a specialist is afforded with all the world-class equipments and resources to save lives. But it must not be because I don't have the resources, therefore I declare this one dead. That is what we must not do. Let's pause for a while and take a look at what has been said, those names that you have heard being mentioned. We can imagine what they are and how expensive they are. No matter how you look at it, whether it is biblically to be compared to the 5 bread and 2 fish that Jesus gave, multitudes benefited from it. What we have heard as 8 million or 10 million, multitudes will benefit from it. One day you might be a tourist passing through Rundu. You can as well benefit from it, isn't it? So let's give him another round of applause. You have heard on the capacity we have currently. You have heard on the strides that we have made in the health sector. You have heard the reliance that we have on foreign expatriates. And you have heard the master of anesthesia. Yeah, that word. Yes. I know time is of the essence, but I normally say the first anesthetic, the person is called what? Yes, that one. The first one who was ever crowned and graduated in that profession is God. And you know why? Because when he created a man, he was in a hurry. God was really in a hurry, made mud and put it, and quickly grandfather Adam was created. Just go. And at the complaint of grandfather Adam, God had to create a woman. And that process of taking a rib and from the rib make these special people we see in front of us, it required anesthetic. Adam had to be kept to sleep in order for the manifestation of a deputy God, a woman, the only one who can carry a life for 9 months. And that is why when you see them walking, the women, they are just unique and special. Men, we walk just like the wind. But women every step is majestic. And that is why they can multitask that we can't. They leave you with the children and a pot that is burning. One of them will be wrong. She asks you, how is the pot? And you forgot the child outside. How is the child? You forgot the pot burning inside. But for herself, when she's there, 1,000 things happening at the same time, the algorithm that you can never imagine, everything perfect. Let's give the women a round of applause. Against this background, I feel privileged to be here. I feel humbled to witness this, more so because of a professor who himself is an embodiment of making possible what others think is impossible. This donation aims to support government to deliver one of its overarching pledges to the people, a healthy and prosperous nation. No nation can prosper without a healthy population, nor can the people be healthier if they are poor. The International University of Management, in consultation with the Ministry of Health and Social Services, has taken a bold step to partner with the government to confront this pernicious shortfall in the number of Namibian medical specialists. And you have heard the professor himself explain it. The whole process, how it's going to work. Through a memorandum of understanding between IUM and the Ministry of Health and Social Services, the ministry will avail its teaching hospitals and specialists for the education and training of medical specialists. On its part, IUM, in collaboration with the University of Zimbabwe and other reputable centers, will deliver the required courses and produce high-quality specialists for the country. In terms of the transition to a fully fledged local master of medicine, Professor has spoken to that, and including how on the pilot level it's going to start in Zimbabwe and then eventually come here. That has been explained. But I must also hasten to say this is part of SADC integration. This is part of African unity. The center where we are today, Professor has told me, it was also home to an OAU, and the president, Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwah, she's the one that came here to launch it. I'm mentioning this for you, the children that are here, the students that are here. We are one as a people. And there was once the founding president, Dr. Sam Safishuna Nujoma, in Namibia, and in Zimbabwe, President R.G. Mugabe. They came together and had a program where young Namibians were sent from here to go to Mutare and other places, Mashonaland, and I think in Bulawayo, for them to go and learn in Zimbabwe so that they can come and plow back in Namibia. And I can assure you there are 2 former ministers here of education. Those young people are now some of the top scientists, especially in mathematics, that are teaching here. They were educated in Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is the Kamanakandongo when it comes to education. Well done, Ministry of Higher, I almost say higher education, but because I'm looking at him, how he was running when he was Minister of Education. Minister of Health and Social Services, and well done, IUM, for your foresight and gesture of solidarity. From the list of donation, which I wouldn't even repeat because the Tanglicity will not allow me, but the equipments include surgical equipments, as well as materials to supplement government supplies. Through this donation, IUM is not only supplying materials, it is also augmenting this with a core team of 5 medical specialists, professors. Now, if you quantify that, so the Minister of Health is correct. It is not 8 million. It is even above 10 million. As Dr. Mahulu has just corrected me, because she's neighboring the professor, she cannot be wrong what she's saying. Let's give her a round of applause in confirming. On our part, we commit to do all we can to ensure that the collaboration that is founded here, and to ensure that there is no bureaucratic bottlenecks, that we will hear, no, this Mr. or Mrs. procurement was somewhere in the way, or there was this one paper that was missing. Please put it so that we can stamp it. You remember, the president said what? Corruption is what? So therefore, IUM, as well as all of you here, you do not deserve to pay anybody to get service. And if you hear somebody saying, for you to see the Prime Minister, you must pay 10 cents, then something somewhere is wrong. Just take a hammer and hammer the head of that person. Because it cannot be true. Everything we are doing, we are servants of the people. And you don't need to pay me to laugh with you, to smile with you. I'm your servant. The president is servant number 1. But as the Constitution says, the sovereign are the people. And we must deliver to your expectation. For me and for you, this day must go in history. Maybe there were others who have done it before, I don't know. Normally, academics, they rely on literature review. But I'm not sure in terms of literature review whether there was once a time the Ministry of Health and Social Services received a donation of 10 million. I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay, maybe. But I have tried to do the literature review. I didn't come out with one that says there was 10 million ever donated to the Ministry of Health. So, because the pastors that are here are not contradicting me, I think what I'm saying is true. Let's give a round of applause to IUM. Therefore, with these remarks, let us, more than anything, stand up, humbly so, and give a round of applause to Professor David Richard Namwandi. And as you give your clamps, as you go to bed today, please say a prayer for long life for him, for long life for all those that are humble like him, because the gift that we have in our own, that are able to give in a manner that he has given, we cannot quantify it. If we can multiply this in all households of Namibia, in all 121 and 14 regions of our country, and then we multiply it, even if through artificial intelligence of the African kind, and we send it through the 4 corners of Africa and the diaspora, Africa and Africans, God will thank us for many, many generations to come. Thank you so very much. Let's give them a round of applause.
You may be seated. Eh? Thank you very much. Please, my exemplary student who was recent to where we wanted them to be, spoke. The Right Honorable Prime Minister has spoken. I was Googling, why do they Right Honorable? Apparently it's another level of honorable. It's a higher level of being honorable. Now we don't clap for them like that. We do the kilo way, yeah? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Funga. Fungua. 15 years ago to the date almost, Professor Namwandi was the Deputy Minister of Education. It was higher education, and I was the founding dean of the School of Medicine. Right Honorable Prime Minister Elijah Ngurare was on the other side of the table. He was wearing the cap of the youth, SWAPO youth of Namibia. He came to my office. We didn't have really an office. I don't know where we met, whether it was a library. And he came with some young Namibians. And they said, Dean, I'm here to solve a problem. Then he narrated, he said, these 12 young Namibians, Esperanza was not one of them, she came later, but these young Namibians have been here for 2 years doing pre-med. And they meet all the requirements of pre-med. And they have not been admitted to the first class going to medicine. Now, what are we going to do about it? He didn't say do something, he just say, what shall we do about it? Because these young people need to go to medical school. The rest is history. We ended up from 45, we admitted 58. And like Dr. Lubindao, they benefited from the increased number from 45 to 70 to 80 by the time I left. It was out of that initiative of saying, no, we must meet the needs of the people of this country, the young people. That's our future. So the kilo again, funga, fungua. So we're going to have a small kind of diversion from the program. We'll go and do token. Okay, let us do the closure. I think I need to be corrected. Let us do the closure, because we have been long. Closing remarks by Dr. Amagulu. She had been, Professor Mambo said a lot about her, but I know her, the iron red lady. She's the one, by calling, she's an obstetrician, but by spirit, she's a manager, driving change in Kadatura Hospital and beyond.
It is indeed the day the Lord has made. I'm excited and privileged to be here. Let me introduce myself. I am Dr. Nelago Tukonjeni Amagulu. First and foremost, the Medical Superintendent of Intermediate Hospital Katutura. Honorable Minister, thank you for keeping us up late last night. The Right Honorable Prime Minister, Dr. Elijah Ngurare, the Honorable Minister of Health and Social Services, Dr. Esperance Luvindao, Professor David Namwandi, the founder and council chair of the International University of Management, Professor Paul Mapfumo, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Zimbabwe, members of the Governing Council of IUM, the IUM School of Medicine Advisory Board. I want to take this opportunity to ask them to stand, Professor Friedrichs, Dr. Sarah Shalongo, so that the team can know the team behind the advice and drive of getting the School of Medicine off the ground. Professor Amambo, Dr. Shonach Mackenzie in absentia, and myself, we form the Interim Advisory Board for the School of Medicine of IUM. And it is indeed and has been a pleasure to really drive behind the scenes the implementation of this school, to home grow Namibian specialists that are country born. In training, I'm an obstetrician and gynecologist, foreign trained. I'm probably going to say about 99% of clinical specialists in Namibia are all foreign. South Africa, Russia, Ukraine, Cuba, the diaspora, Tanzania. In fact, I specialized in Tanzania. I did my Master's of Medicine there. And the only postgraduate program in clinical specialization is the Masters of Medicine in Anesthesia, God's specialty, as alluded to by the Right Honorable Prime Minister. And that was from the IUM School of Medicine that has managed to graduate 8 anesthetists. And the International University of Management has entered this space to increase specialist capacity for the country. I want the audience to appreciate the fact that when we specialize specialists, we take them from clinical service in country, and they serve the communities and populations of the countries where they are training. As alluded to, the training is 4 to 6 years, if you include subspecialties. The beauty of beginning these programs in country is that the trainees, the residents, the registrars are training in country, in our facilities, in our hospitals, serving their communities as they professionally upgrade to specialists. So it is really an awesome day that we begin to produce locally. I am profoundly thankful and appreciated today on behalf of the ministry, on behalf of the International University of Management, as the chair of the advisory board. And we acknowledge and celebrate this generous donation of medical equipment from the International University of Management. When the names are mentioned, as Right Honorable Prime Minister said, it does not make sense. But I want to translate it into simple English. Dr. Shivera is here with us, and the challenges we face across the country with having the tools of the trade to provide the quality service that we should. This equipment will allow the Rundu Intermediate Hospital to provide healthcare orthopedic surgeries, minimally invasive surgeries, obstetric surgeries. We are looking at close to 25 fetal monitoring equipment. The quantities, we have not gone into the quantities of some of these things. The orthopedic traction tables, those ones, because I'm in management, if you get them for less than $1 million, you've gotten a bargain. And this is coming with all the wheels and bells and everything that is required to fully enable stopping referrals to Windhoek for orthopedics, for laparoscopic surgeries. The consignment is including the surgical gowns, scrubs, monitoring equipment. So Dr. Shivera, your ICU is fully equipped. Your neonatal ICU is fully equipped. Your maternity unit is fully equipped, not only with fetal monitoring. You can literally, every patient in that unit will have a CTG. You have infusion pumps for your ICUs. The NICUs, NICU is neonatal ICU, your ICUs, your adult ICUs. I was just thinking when I was looking at the list and the quantities, Professor Namwandi, were you planning to equip the entire hospital? Because that is what this donation is. It has enabled all clinical areas of this referral site to function. And I want to explain the strategic, deliberate focus on the Rundu Intermediate Hospital. It is the referral hospital for Katima Mulilo District Hospital in the Zambezi region. It's a region close to our heart because of the extreme distance from the other referral sites. We're talking about between Rundu, Katima, 500 kilometers. You can imagine a neonate born needing critical neonatal care, not able to breathe, has just been delivered and has to be put on an ambulance for 500 kilometers to come to Rundu. And then to make matters worse, if Rundu is not equipped, another 700 plus kilometers to Windhoek. We are changing that picture. So it was a deliberate move to fully capacitate Rundu. Rundu is also strategic in that it produced its first cohort of medical doctors, officers, post-internship. It was the last referral hospital to be accredited by the Health Professions Council of Namibia as a training site for medical internship. And they've done marvelously. It is a hub that is rich with pathology. For the patients, maybe not such a good thing. But for specialists in training, it is a gold mine that we fully are planning to mine to the fullest. Patients are presenting late with advanced pathology, advanced cancer, and this donation is to limit the referrals, the untimely diagnosis. So Dr. Shivera, it is a good day for you and your team. Honorable Prime Minister, Minister, Professor Mapfumo, it's really an honor. This collaboration was not easy. It comes with a lot of criticism, a lot of negativity, and what people don't appreciate is that specialist training is not classroom-based training, is hospital-based training, in the wards, by the patient, in the theaters, in the clinics. That is where specialists are trained. And when people don't see the building, the mortar and bricks of a school of medicine, they ask themselves, how can you train doctors? Because we are not training the bachelors who need classrooms and anatomy labs. We are training the specialists that must do, for half this room, your hip replacements, your knee replacements, your hysterectomies for fibroids and cancers of the uterus. They are trained in the theaters and in the wards of these referral hospitals. And we wanted to create an academic hub of excellence in the northeastern region of the country. So we are truly thankful. We are truly thankful. And we are deliberate about obliterating the concept of the periphery. So it's a targeted strategic intervention. And I think we are just fortunate, if it's coincidental, that Prime Minister, you are from the region. So we are waiting for that support. The Registrar of the Health Professions Councils, Dr. Weyulu, you've been instrumental in giving us the green light to proceed with this program, because it has its initiation for the first year, the basic sciences, at the University of Zimbabwe in Harare. But the clinical years, from second year through to fourth year, those we will implement fully in the Windhoek Hospital Complex and in Rundu. So we are just thankful, Dr. Weyulu, for you and your team, for listening, for understanding that it is high time for local capacity to kick off. To our esteemed partners from the International University of Management, this donation is not merely a transfer of equipment. It is a powerful testament to your institutional values, your unwavering sense of civic duty, and your belief in the transformative power of collaboration. Your contribution will directly enhance the capacity of our healthcare professionals to deliver timely, effective, and compassionate care to the communities that will be served through Intermediate Rundu Hospital. It is a gesture that speaks volumes about your dedication to national development and the well-being of our people. It's a multi-sectoral engagement. I've mentioned the Health Professions Council. I want to bring here Home Affairs and the Immigration Board, because the capacity for specialist training is not in the country. And we have to be open enough to appreciate that and get the skills and the resources in terms of the professors, clinical professors, in gynecology, in pediatrics, in psychiatry, from outside. And that first group in this collaboration will be coming from the University of Zimbabwe. So when we need the temporary permits, Dr. Weyulu, for the team to come, train, supervise at these intermittent intervals as they see how we roll out and implement in country the program. Your support will be needed. Honorable Minister, let us engage, please, our counterpart at Home Affairs to understand this national drive. To the resilient and hardworking staff of the Ministry of Health and Social Services, Rundu Intermediate Hospital, especially, your tireless efforts, your unwavering commitment to patient care are the heartbeat of our institutions. May this generous support serve as a reminder that your work is seen, valued, and uplifted by partners who share in our mission to heal and to serve, but more importantly, to birth the next generation of homegrown clinical specialists. I want to let you know and assure you, Dr. Shivera, that there'll be no logistical bottlenecks. The International University of Management will transport this consignment of medical equipment to Rundu. So have no fears. After this launch, the equipment will be transported to you. So that is not a logistical nightmare you will have to go through. To members of the media here, I'm so thankful. These are the positive collaborations we want you reporting on. And when you do come to the People's Hospital, Katutura, find the good stories. The numerous men, women, and children that come sick, maimed from gunshots, from trauma, from cancer, and they go home healed. Let us begin to tell those stories. There are many. In conclusion, I want to extend a heartfelt thanks once again to IUM, its management, for this meaningful and impactful contribution. We are equally grateful to the Right Honorable Prime Minister, our Honorable Minister, for the continued support and for honoring us with your presence here today. Let us move forward together. Without negativity, without skepticism, let's build. Greatness starts with the first step. So we are getting there. We have begun. Let's build our healthcare system. It needs all of us holding hands, partnering, so that we build an inclusive, resilient, and responsive health system that is responsive to the needs of our people. In closing, I want to say in most of the memorandums of understandings with training institutions locally, IUM is the first university or training institution that has partnered materially and human resource-wise with the ministry to support the training. And my appeal and clarion call to other training institutions, nursing especially, there are so many, the capacity we have to expand Let's hold hands. It's not just about bringing students to the institutions. It's about capacitating the health facilities where they're being trained to be able to train the students properly. So do likewise. Medical equipment, clinical supplies, gloves, those things don't fall from the air. They cost money. And when you're at a training site, the consumption is huge. And the cost, I'm not going to mention here. So I thank you all for having graced us with your presence, taken time out of your very busy schedules to be with us. I thank you.
Oh, once more the correct way. Funga, fungua. We will adapt the program, and I must declare that in my first assignment as a director of ceremonies, I failed because there is a time overrun of 50%, almost 100%. I know for sure that there are 4 media houses. Thank you for coming. I know for sure that Rundu appreciates, because when Dr. Shivera called me, I could feel the warm tears in our heart and in our eyes. So what we're going to do now, because of time, is to stand up and we'll listen to the national anthems and sing together. Then from there, I will make an announcement. You will see that then I make an announcement. So national anthems. National anthem of Namibia, AU, and in the reverse order, starting with IUM.
Social consciousness, values on which we stand, building economic wealth for the blessings of our land. We will strive to live our purpose. We will strive to make a difference. We are IUM for life. We are IUM. We will aim to set the trends, standards superior. Part of the answer to advance Namibia. We remember those before us. Be remembered for your impact. We are IUM for life. We are IUM. Let us all unite and celebrate together the victories won for our liberation.
Thank you. You may be seated briefly. What is going to happen from now on? It has been a long day. Professor Namwandi and let's call it for now the high table will proceed and just briefly view the sample of equipment, and will remain seated as they are going. And then from there, they will proceed to the holding room where they were earlier and get a bit of hydration. In the meantime, those of us, now I take literally my own liberty to decide. All our invited guests who are in the first two rows, you go together with Professor Mwandemele and Professor Mapfumo to another room in the same direction where you'll also get hydrated. The others, you will join me in going down the steps. We'll also get rehydrated. Thank you. No, you know now. Doctors are doctors, eh? They don't know protocol. Before we proceed to get the big equipment, we will have IUM present a token of appreciation to the Right Honorable Prime Minister and the Minister for Health and Social Services, Honorable Minister for Health and Social Services, MP. So, please, who is doing the honor of giving the appreciation gift? Professor Namwandi, I think now you are the chief host, the only supporting staff. The only supporting. Omake.